It's Sunday the 16th of July, 10:29. I'm back in the city today. I was going to go out to Brentollet Wood, but there's a lot of heavy rain. And Luna's like going to the rivers now. I don't want to jump into the river if it's in flood. So we're doing a wee Sunday morning, doing a wee city centre walk. Church bells going and stuff, and the place nice and empty. And I was going to just walk across the wee park on the far side, but wee Luna's never been to Bloody Sunday Corner. So I might take a wee walk out that way. But no rush to get anywhere. I was soaked yesterday, the rain came on. I know, see the weather's last while. You get soaked with sweating with a coat on or soaked with the rain. Just doing a poo already, boy. Look at that there for efficiency there, right? Aye. That's a good one there, Luna. No cheap bags when I'm going to use a good bag. See, no distance to carry that. Seems a waste of a good bag there, boys. So, I think now we'll go up Craigavon Bridge now. God, Luna, I'll tell you what, it's a long time she's had a big salt one like that. That's again, I'm on down this way now. We'll do the lower deck.
That's the worst, I know.
You always hear people going, oh, there's a dog going there. As soon as she goes to town, it's brilliant, freedom then. She doesn't go second, third time, like that's her now. Our next one now is going to be the afternoon, or tonight. See, the Donegal ones that come here, boy, look. We've got a poop scoop bin and a normal bin, and there's another normal bin. Bins everywhere here. No bins under the bridge right now. On the bridge itself. Like I can see 3 bins there. 1, 2, 3 bins ahead of me. Poop scoop bin, and then there's all ones down to the station. So that's a handy wee spot to bring a pup here. It's all fenced in, like. Can't go on the road. You only need to look out for his bicycles once you get the other side. Oh, some bad pup did that pet. You know, I'm just looking, there used to be flower beds, just sticking them away. There used to be flower beds high up. Because I remember coming down here with wee Lucy, and she would jump up on the flower bed to go to do her poo. There's no flower beds at all now. It's just bushes, like, wasn't fancy flowers, just bushes. There's a wee space. She always went and she would never go on the footpath. Oh, there's another doggy on the bridge. Another puppy on the bridge. It's on a lead. The thing is now, all the parks in the city now, you have to have a dog on a lead. People who want to keep dogs on leads should be going there now, like. No dogs on leads here. There's one of my Akitas probably up Luna apart. Luna! Luna! That's not left it. Give me that balls. Sunday, double time. Hello, pup. How you doing? Are you letting out your deaf again, are you, pet? So this lower deck here used to be for trains. There would have been a turntable here. That goes on underneath. But I've never seen no photographs of how they done it. That's Victoria Station over there, that wee red brick building. That was the actual entrance. Although it looks small there, it's actually quite big. It's narrow gauge. But it actually goes way down a bit, but like you could Well, them trees are on the right hand side of that building. The river line would have come on going past that building, and they could have carried the wee carts back and forward. But you see, a train can't turn that angle there, no way, like. So they had to have some kind of turntable. Whether they pushed the, I don't know, I'd like to know how they done it. And the heavy gauge train down that way, which is still there. So the line would have come on up here. And then the heavy gauge line on the far side, with the Stavan. I'm just interested to see how did they put the carriages across. I can't see them driving the train across. I don't think I might have shunted them across with a wee tiny thing, I don't know. I'd love to find out how they done it. What way we go, Luna? What way we go? You know what I do, Luna? I'm going to take a wee shortcut up here. No crossing that way, I have to cross two roads here. So you had another turntable here. You had to have another turntable. There's no way a train can turn them corners. The river line there is for the heavy gauge straight in front, and then the narrow gauge is behind us. Oh, no, we've got green lights. Why did I put the wee beeps on them? Is that an EEC regulation there, boss? Don't know my word, peeps. Wee bip. But, we've got that wee lane over there. So they put the wee narrow gauge over here for the museum, but it never was here. Didn't run very long. So the tracks would have carried on down, like. I don't know what's happening for the museum now. Apparently the stuff now was still supposed to be inside, and ones were worried about vandalism. Shut for years, like. And you used to be able to get on the wee train and take it right up. That wee red train, that would have been on Stavan, that wee train over there. Whenever they scrapped the railways, some American boy bought the trains in Stavan. When I was away and going to school, you could see them. They were behind the bus depot, because all the bus depots took over the railway yards and all. It's the same today in Portrush and stuff. You see the buses beside the trains, and they're like a Ballymoney. So when the trains disappeared, the buses took over. And the trains were bought by an American, and whatever happened anyway, he couldn't afford to ship them across. And that's before eBay and stuff. How the American was able to bid on them, I don't know. Whether it was here on holiday or what, but you just had it. They went to auction. Most of them went for scrap. Some American, he bought a couple of trains in Stavan. There's one of the trains up in the Ulster Folk Transport Museum up in Cathedral in Belfast. It's a wee train, an hour gauge one that took my mother to Portrush. That's up there. So they weren't all scrapped. But whenever the gypsies then, they moved in to the old station behind the Ulster bus. Like, any brass I think it was all stripped, like. Them boys were all into scrap and all, like. The gypsies lived there for years up until the bypass was built. And they built them a new campsite. But like, they built a new cafe now beside this museum. So if they ever want to use that museum again, you can't get a train into it, because the doorway is blocked up with that new building. Just nothing makes sense, like. But see, it's council. I think the council alone is never going to be a success, because councils have to answer the ratepayers. Councillors are not business people. Never will be. That's why you get cash for ice and all that kind of stuff. Politicians aren't business people. Most of them are solicitors and stuff, and they don't know how to run business. So that's the right water tower there. That would have been used for. So like, that's original there, like, you think they try and preserve it. No. Tommy Henderson's factory used to be here. Big red brick factory in this church. Londonderry was all church. It's all cheap labour, like. So you had shifter, you had steel and stuff like that. Back in them days, whatever you had local was what you used. And the one local thing you had here in Northern Ireland was cheap labour. So it was all clothing. I worked in hosiery for 22 years. Even in my time, it was still clothing. You had Adria, you had Desmond's making jeans, dainty fit naked underwear. So Terry and Henderson made the shirts. That's another shirt factory behind. The city's full of shirt factories. And if you look up here now at the end of this bridge, you see the old public toilets. Up there's the windows, the public toilets. And you go back before disabled people. And disabled people didn't leave the house. If you were disabled, you never left the house. Your own family wouldn't even look at you half time. So there were steps everywhere. Up there you see the steps, the gateway, that was the steps up under the factory. But you had steps down under the toilets. Toilets were underground. But you can see there, they're not totally underground because they have windows. But they also had toilets underground at outside Waterloo Place. So there's all the toilets in the city were underground. There's no way disabled people can get access to them now. And I always thought, like, the city centre, if that was London there, there'd be an apartment or something in there. It wouldn't be lying covered over. There's no signboard above. The pavement's just covered over, but it's still there. You know which slabs they lift up, you find the stairs. And I imagine all these ones, the factory tube would pop in them toilets. That one there was renovated a while back. And the apartments, it's looking well. The boy that built this, he built a hotel there. Oh, there's a chimes going now, Luna. I couldn't have timed it better. Oh no, Luna. Come up here now, the chimes is going. St Colin's Cathedral, that goes back to the start of the city 400 years ago. Didn't always have the spire on it. During the siege they had a cannon up there. And I think it was damaged during the siege too. You need to go to the Siege Museum to find the full details. But most churches were the same. They didn't have the spires when they built them. The congregation had to raise a bit of money to build the church. And then the new church opened. Oh, that's a new church, that's a new place to visit, like. Get more collections. And then eventually get the money, put the spiral on. But I'm sure when they built it, it was supposed to have a spiral. You needed foundations for it, but then lots of churches don't have them. So all these wee 2 up 2 down houses, the same everywhere, and that's for all the mills. The mill owners would have built them. That grey wall in the distance, that's a peace wall. It's all Roman Catholics on the other side and Protestants on this side. I planned to buy that house there, that corner house one time, before I bought my own house. Thought if I got that house, I got that wee bit of land at the side, I just needed a house. And you see where it's getting the sunshine now? Far bigger house inside than it looks. House goes away back, but there's no back door. It's clay. No back windows. Only windows you have is the front. Because that's the end one, it's got a massive big courthouse, double the size of courthouse than the rest. And I thought, well, if I got that wee bit of land, I could put my caravan at the side of it. Actually, we done the solicitor to sign for it. All the deals was done, all the rest went to sign for it. And in the terms and conditions, because the housing executive own the rest of the block, no caravans, boats, cats or dogs. I had 2 dogs and I had a caravan, so that was it. Had to pull out. But see, why wait the very last second before they tell you that? Other than that, but the whole reason I'm buying that house, I don't know anybody lives here, but I was working down in Maydown at the time, and the house was 20-something thousand pounds. So it's a 2-story house. 26,000 or something like that. My own house cost 72, so it shows the difference. I could have the mortgage paid in that. I could have cycled to work. You would have free internet because you're in the city centre with Talk. Well, where I'm living, you need a car. How do you pay for the internet and the house price? I'm on a bungalow, £72,000. But it's all about location, isn't it? So that's the first house I went to buy. I thought, well, I'll have that paid in 10 years. I ended up I got my own house paid for in 10 years. I will let you off here, Lena. We'll do a wee bit of peace walling here, like. All along there now, you've got all the wee pictures of bygone ages and all. But like, I wouldn't know none of the people on it or nothing else. There was originally more flats here, but they knocked them down. So you see there that wire fence up there now, that's the Roman Catholics on the other side and the Protestants on the other side. Well, we'll get around this corner, I'll let you off the lead now. That tower there, Ulster Tower. If you go up to the Ulster Museum outside Bangor direction. Forgot the name of the tower, I put in the bottom of the video. Ulster Tower. There's a tower built, me and Luna walked it, and that Ulster Tower is a replica of the tower at the Sun Museum. And the reason why the land behind there, it's all trees now and quarry. That's where the First World War ones trained before they went out to France. And one of the last sites they would have seen before going to France would have been the tower. The tower has nothing to do with the war. The tower was a folly built by the landowners of the day. But they were training on his grounds and they would have seen this tower. So when they built the Ulster Tower out then, out in the Somme, it was a replica of that. So you can actually stay in it now. It's not that one. You can stay in the original one. That's one of these Airbnb things now, like. Oh, I forgot the name. I'm no good with names. I'll write the name down the bottom. Well, now I'm going to let you off now. You know the rules now. No chasing pussycats. You'll be kneecapped in here, pet, I'll tell you. They kneecap ones in here, limit don't behave themselves. No, come on, no scrounger. But I'm not against fences. I put a big fence between me and my neighbour. They weren't too happy when I first moved in the house. I like a fence. I do. I'm not one against fences. I think a wee fence is handy, and then Loon doesn't escape and there's no problems. So that's the peace line there. It's not like Belfast here, but they're saying that people don't talk to each other. The person here wouldn't know who lives there. You just wouldn't know. But that's the same everywhere. If you walk anywhere, any housing estate where you've got working class and middle class, you're going to have a wall dividing them. It mightn't be as high, but they will not talk to each other. There'll always be a barrier. You always find working class people will always have access to parks and stuff. Middle class, upper class, they don't want to be socialised with anybody, and they'll put a wall up. So if you go to Kilfennan Park there in Londonderry, you'll find that the private houses, very few access on to Kilfennan Park. All houses back on it, and housing executive houses full access. So that's your peace line now going up the other side. On the other side they have posters and stuff. So originally they put glass and all on there, rather than make it look a dark wall. They put glass to make it look nice, and laminated glass, and whether we're painting on them or what. But then they put these boards on top. But it goes to show you how eager people are to clod. Like that fence there, I don't know what height that is. It's higher than a 2-story house on the far side. You got this big wide gap, and still they had to put a fence up here because they're able to clod over and stuff hit the houses. But I can't throw a tennis ball that far. Forget about the height, I couldn't throw a tennis ball that far. And yet they can clod over there on heights there. So that's why you got your second line of fencing. But it wouldn't put me off living here. It's a nice wee spot, like city centre location, bit of grass. The other side is more dismal. It's all 2 up, 2 downs. This ground here was the ground of the jail. That's how this ground became available. So you can see that the Loyalist part was all 2 up, 2 downs. The Nationalist part was 2 up, 2 downs. These were all built for mill workers. And you had the jail here. You see the way the peace line now, the wag. I must prefer clod, I tell you. But in saying that, anybody here plodding over the other side, it's easy. I don't know how much plodding goes the other way. But we're not long after the 12th, like, and there's no glass line around here, but Derry Council's pretty quick in cleaning up anyway, if there is any scuffles. I'll take a wee walk the other side as well. Sunday morning, you can do things on Sunday mornings. People just think I'm a tourist. But this is the land of the old prison. So when they knocked the prison down, it left an ideal spot. But I say originally there was more than blocks of flats, but they knocked them down. So I take it these houses probably came after they knocked the flats down. And all fairness to the council, when they built these flats, they were built in the Bog Side and everywhere. They weren't built for cheap housing, they were built for modern housing. They were futuristic. They didn't know about reinforced concrete busting because the rods would rust. And they didn't know about all the damp issues because the concrete busted. When they built them originally, they built them as modern living homes. But it all went wrong, and then crime and all them, antisocial behaviour. But if you left one of them wee 2 up 2 down houses and you moved into a block of flats and you had a stainless steel sink, you had a bath, you had a toilet, a bathroom, they were way modern like. But the only thing about the wee 2 up 2 downs, everybody knew each other. Everybody looked after each other ways, and once they went to the flats, and then there was thieving and antisocial behaviour and all the rest. So that's all that's left now. The prison is that one tower. One say, I don't remember, it's not before my time. I used to live in Stavan. One say they should have kept the prison. But I know they had the prison, they had a yard. There were some photographs on the other side of this wall. We can take a look at the photographs. There's a wee museum or something on there now. It's going to be very small on this. But I think there's a wee museum thing in there. The King's Coronation, Charles III, May 2023, that wee tree. The Queen's Platinum Jubilee, June 2022, that wee tree. Wee apples on it, boys. Dedicated to the memory of all those who died in the First and Second World Wars and in more recent conflicts. That might have been Barry's balloons there, although it's very small. But, oh, that's a guess. But I think I might have read somewhere. But there might have been Barry's balloons up in we call it Belfast at Stormont. They're bigger than that. One of them looks like it's been replaced. But there would have been Barry's balloons here during the war as well. And I always thought the balloons stopped the planes coming down. It wasn't. The reason I kept the planes from coming down was the steel wires between them. If the plane came down, hit the steel wire, took the wing off the plane. And that forced the planes to fly higher. And then the bombs weren't accurate. The bombs are only be accurate if they fly below a certain depth. So this is the Fountain Estate here. You've also got Fountain Hall on the Wateside. That'll be Nationalist. So Fountain Hall and the Fountain's 2 different places. Then again, the peace line here, you've got double fences to protect the houses. I'd imagine when there's trouble, this is where the most of it would be. There's a CCTV above. That'd be, because it'd be very easy to have a right on the far side and plot over here. That'd be why the other streets are pretty narrow. Luna, I'm going to put you on the lead now. And there's the old city walls themselves there. I wonder, we're going to go back up in the city walls. I'll put you on the lead here now. So this gateway now into the city walls here, all the gates have been changed since the siege. Originally the gates would have been a lot smaller. And then after the siege and everybody was all happy, they put in these grand gates. But this would have been the actual gateway that they closed in King James's army. So when he approached there, he approached this gate. There's the old entrance there. So we'll look at some of these murals now, like. There's the old gateway now. But that was all done up as to look fancy, like. It wouldn't have been fancy on its day.